All right, let's dive straight into this action-packed explainer of the latest World Cup events and tactical matchups. The 2026 tournament is absolutely flying right now across North America, and honestly, it's delivering on every possible front. Today, we're breaking down the overnight drama, dissecting the strategies of the heavyweights, and trying to make sense of the sheer chaos of this massive expanded tournament format. We have a ton of ground to cover, so let's jump right in. We're kicking things off with the number 10. And no, actually, scratch that. It's not a player's jersey we're talking about here. It's a statistic that is literally dominating the headlines today. That number? It represents Cristiano Ronaldo's 10-game major tournament goal drought. Yeah, 10 games. A dry spell that stretches all the way back to a penalty against Ghana in the 2022 World Cup. And as you'll see in just a minute, this single number is fueling the biggest tactical debate of the entire tournament right now. But before we get to Portugal, let's zoom out for Section 1, the global roundup, records, raves, and tragedy. Starting off with an absolute banger, Lionel Messi has officially become the all-time top goal scorer in World Cup history. I mean, Argentina put on an absolute clinic in a 5-0 win, and Messi just added another massive milestone to an already legendary resume. It's a really striking contrast to the struggles we're seeing from other veterans in the tournament. For everyone watching, it pretty much cements Argentina as a terrifying force moving forward. Now, talk about a game of two halves, right? This perfectly illustrates the contrasting fortunes we're seeing. Norway advanced with a thrilling 3-2 win, but it was largely handed to them thanks to some pretty crucial defensive errors by Senegal's captain, Kalidou Koulibaly. Senegal came in as really strong outsiders, but high-profile slips at the back, including this wildly misjudged clearance right before halftime, allowed Erling Haaland and Norway to capitalize and book their ticket to the knockout stages. And you better believe that dramatic victory sparked some wild overnight celebrations back in Oslo. Fans totally took over the streets, even though it was a regular working day. And remarkably, they marched all the way to the Royal Palace at 4 a.m. Just picture it. Hundreds of fans sitting on the ground, doing their famous Viking rowing celebration, chanting to wake up their 89-year-old King Harald V. Honestly, it's exactly the kind of joyous madness the World Cup is known for. Okay, shifting gears here for a second, we do unfortunately have to report some tragic news out of Amman. While fans gathered at Hashemite Square to watch a public screening of the Jordan versus Algeria match, a severe crowd crush happened. Authorities are reporting that this terrible incident left one fan dead and 8 others injured. It's a really sobering reminder for all of us about the absolute vital importance of crowd control and safety at these massive public events. All right, moving into Section 2, the tactical dilemma, solving the Ronaldo problem. So here's the rub for Portugal. They boast arguably the best midfield in the entire tournament, right? You've got elite playmakers like Bruno Fernandes, Bernardo Silva, Vitinha, but pundits are seriously questioning if having a really isolated Cristiano Ronaldo up front is totally neutralizing that elite play. In their 1-1 draw against DR Congo, Ronaldo had 3 shots, but guess how many were on target? Exactly 0. He's essentially acting as a tactical bottleneck for an otherwise super fluid team. And the Portuguese media? Yeah, they are not holding back. They are heavily criticizing this setup, impartially arguing that his lack of mobility means his teammates are constantly trying to serve him even when way better options are sitting right there. Just look at this quote from Luis Mateus at Abola. He flat out says Ronaldo's presence has become a square peg in their attack, basically suggesting he's only in the starting lineup because of past gratitude, not current tactical merit. Ouch. Now, what's genuinely fascinating here is the fan sentiment. A recent poll from the Portuguese site 00 found that 63% of voting Portugal fans actually do not want Ronaldo to start today. Let that sink in. 63%. When nearly 2/3 of your own fan base is calling for a tactical shift away from your iconic captain, you just know the pressure on the manager is immense. Despite that, the team is actively circling the wagons and defending their captain. Midfielder João Neves came out after the last match and basically said Ronaldo is just one more player trying to help. Sounds like a pretty standard show of support, right? Well, in the pressure cooker of the World Cup, even that sparked an unprecedented social media backlash. Fans totally flooded the accounts of Neves and Bruno Fernandes. It's creating a super chaotic atmosphere in the camp right now. Even with all this intense public debate, manager Roberto Martinez isn't expected to drop him as they face Uzbekistan today down in Houston. And let me tell you, the environment is going to be grueling. The outside heat index is a sweltering 42 degrees Celsius. That is literally roasting. Thankfully for the players, they're playing under a closed roof to dodge the heat, but the physical and mental temperature surrounding this Portuguese squad, it honestly could not be higher. Let's shift our focus over to Boston for Section 3. The big preview, England versus Ghana. The massive million-dollar tactical question for England manager Thomas Tuchel today is this: how do you deploy your preferred high defensive line without getting absolutely punished by Ghana's blistering speed? The start and stop nature of these games, with the hydration breaks, can lead to quick lapses in concentration, and Ghana is perfectly built to exploit exactly those moments on the counterattack. If we look at our scouting report, we're highlighting two massive threats for the Black Stars. First up is Coventry City's Brandon Thomas Asante. This guy came off the bench and set up the winner against Panama purely with his sheer pace. And second, you've got the incredibly dangerous Antoine Semenyo. His ambidexterity makes him an absolute nightmare for defenders to track. By the way, Semenyo's backstory is actually fascinating. That ambidexterity, it comes from his dad making him kick paper and cans with both feet as a kid on the streets of London. Talk about a grassroots grind. It's an incredible journey for a player who, after facing a string of rejections, was super disillusioned and actually almost quit football entirely at age 16. A life-changing trial turned it all around, and now he's the #1 guy England has to stop. To combat that exact counterattacking threat, England is going to rely heavily on their midfield anchor, Declan Rice. Now, Rice has been managing a lingering hamstring issue, which is a bit concerning, but he recently confirmed that his body is conditioned for long tournament runs after years of deep European campaigns with West Ham and Arsenal. Make no mistake, England will desperately need his tactical discipline on the pitch today. Finally, let's put way back for Section 4, navigating 48-team chaos, the math and the madness. Because the tournament has expanded, we are in a whole new ballgame. It's no longer just the top 2 teams moving on. Now, the top 8 third-place finishers across the 12 groups will also sneak into the round of 32. This creates an unbelievably complex web of math. Teams in the later groups are going to know exactly what goal difference they need to survive, which is completely altering late-game tactics. Just look at these data simulations. The reality of this new math is stark. If a team can just scrape together 3 points, literally just 1 win, and maintain a 0 goal difference, they have a massive 99.1% probability of qualifying. Even with a -1 goal difference, you're sitting pretty at nearly 96%. What does that mean for us watching? It means teams are going to play intensely defensive football simply to protect a narrow loss. It's totally wild. And the sheer size of this 48-team tournament, it's causing massive headaches off the pitch, too. U.S. agencies have already seized over 300 unauthorized drones flying way too close to stadiums. On top of that security nightmare, there's massive internal backlash over FIFA leadership reportedly overruling U.S.-based staff to implement dynamic ticket pricing. So yeah, there is plenty of friction going on behind the scenes of this mega event. So, putting all this together, the absolutely crucial question we're left with is this. With all this unpredictability, the deep tactical drama surrounding legends like Ronaldo, and the sheer statistical chaos of the group stages, is this expanded 48-team format actually making the beautiful game even better? Or is it just watering it down? It's a massive question, and honestly, I'd love to know where you stand on it. Thanks so much for joining me on this explainer. Keep your eyes peeled on those tactics today, and enjoy the matches.